If you know me, you know I love the Phantom of the Opera. I mean, there's that. There's, of course, that. There's posters around my room, little designs I've made. I've made a few videos on it. But February of 2019, I made the same video, except my list was so different. I don't really know what I was thinking. That video is not up anymore. It's privated. But I really needed to update that list and make my true, real top 10 favorite songs from the Phantom of the Opera, my favorite musical of all time. And I really thought long and hard about this. You will agree with some of my picks and you will disagree with some. And I am talking specifically about the Phantom of the Opera at the Royal Albert Hall, the 25th anniversary. Not this piece of shit, because we don't talk about that one. No. Minor spoiler warning. Some of the stuff I'll talk about in the songs will have to do with some later moments in the show. If you haven't seen it, go watch this one. Number 10! Little Lotte / The Mirror. I'm Canadian, or at least North American, so we say Lotte instead of like Lotte, whatever the way it's pronounced, and that's how it's sang in here. But you probably weren't expecting this one on the list, because I doubt you'd see it on any other ones, and we're talking about this one / The Mirror, so it's that whole sequence after Think of Me, where they're in Christine's dressing room. First Raoul comes in, and then the Phantom starts singing. Phantom or Eric, I'll refer to him as both in this video. And he starts singing too. I combine them both because that's what it is on the album. But I honestly love this song, or both of the songs. I love how it's the first time that Christine and Raoul sing the same song together, but it's not a massive and like in-your-face song. It's this little simple song about them singing about something from their childhood, because they're childhood lovers, we'll say. And as for The Mirror, I think it's important because Ramin Kremlou uses his big booming voice to show the power of the Phantom or Eric, and it's the first little moment we get little hints of how good he is, and this is where it all started. Number 9! Masquerade / Why So Silent. These are more so the same song, kind of, but even if you don't know Phantom, you've probably heard someone go, Masquerade, once in your life. I mean, if you talk about it, that's normally what someone will say. I mean, I heard it even before I started obsessing over this show. But not only is the dance number and costume design some of the best work I've seen, Masquerade and Why So Silent are great pieces of music in their own ways. Masquerade is very grand and a spectacle. And then Why So Silent is more of a character moment, and it sets up the later moments, obviously, with the Don Juan triumph. Plus, the Red Death costume is fantastic. Wandering Child. When I made this list back in 2019, I had this song, I think, in the top 3. I think I had it like number 2 or something. Not exactly sure why, but I still love this song. It's definitely an unpopular opinion amongst fans, but I actually prefer Raoul being in the song. I think it works better as a trio than a duet. It adds to the conflict of Eric once again trying to manipulate Christine and lure her, but Raoul holding her back vocally is brilliant. Ramin Kremlou, Sierra Bogus, and Hadley Fraser, sorry if I pronounced any of your names wrong, are just outstanding here. It's some of their best work in the entire show. The real emotion and the drama of this scene is very high, plus those fire effects are amazing. Let's not talk about the movie though, because what the fuck was that?
Raoul! Whatever you believe, this man, this thing, is not your father.
The Final Lair. Just to clarify, on the album, this one is called Down Once More / Track Down This Murderer. I just prefer to call it The Final Lair because it's more specific. If you haven't listened to the show, it's the final scene and it's in the Phantom's Lair, or it's also called the Phantom's Lair too, but the Final Lair is the best name for it. But I'm talking about that final 19-minute and 22-second song. My favorite part of the entire song is when they're all singing. The emotion from every character is at an all-time high. Raoul could possibly die, Eric could kill another person, and Christine must decide between them both. The ending is perfect. We did not need a sequel. Love never dies. And if you ever need proof of a perfect ending, just look here. Number 6. Wishing You Were Somehow Here Again. For me, this is Christine's best solo. A lot of you are probably surprised I don't have Think of Me on this list. It's a very popular song from the show, and I still really like it. But the reason I love Wishing is because of the emotion in the song. I'll say that a lot here, but what really makes musical theater great is the emotion you can feel from it. And Sierra Boggess, I think that's how you say her name, this is easily the best part of the entire show vocally for her. She is outstanding, and I love this scene. All I Ask of You reprise. Now, I've talked about this song in a video I made a few months ago called My Story with the Phantom of the Opera, so I'll kind of sum up what I said there. I have a very strong emotional connection with this song. The meaning of the song for me is, I gave you everything and you didn't appreciate it. Look how you repaid me. Eric wrote music for Christine, taught her in everything, and he loves her, but she repays him by being with Raoul. And at the time I first became obsessed with it and started listening to it frequently, I was kind of in the same situation with my relationship at the time. I was kind of giving my everything, whereas she wasn't. And don't worry, there was no murder involved or whatever, but this song really, really hit hard when I listened to it, and just the fact that Ramin Karimloo basically cries, but you can still hear what he's saying through the song is phenomenal. The Point of No Return. Now, the true meaning of the song is not family friendly, but I still love this scene and the song. The blocking is probably the best in the show. I love how we have an idea that it's Eric, but we aren't 100% sure. The song is flawless too. The way that Ramin rolls, I can't really do it, some of his like letters and his R's. Really smart here. Everything about the song is perfect, and it builds up to one of the most powerful pieces of music I've ever heard, where we finally get that face reveal we've been waiting for. No! Number 3. The Phantom of the Opera. Obviously this had to be in the top 5 or top 3. If you ask someone to sing a line from this musical, they will probably sing, "The Phantom of the Opera is there." I mean, people have just sung it to me because I was wearing this shirt. That's how, like, I won't say catchy, but popular the musical is, and without this song, it would not be as memorable. This is definitely the most memorable song in the show. Everyone knows that, of course. And as I mentioned before, we get to hear bits of Eric before this song, but here he's almost in full force, and his strange duet with Christine is perfect. I've said perfect a lot, and I will not stop. Number 2. All I Ask of You. I mean, it's my favorite romance song of all time. Of course, it had to be in the top 3. All I Ask of You is one of the most beautiful songs of all time. Christine and Ralph finally get their big moment together, and it's flawless. I'm obviously Team Phantom, but this song makes me question whether Christine and Ralph should be together. The chemistry that Sierra Boggess and Hadley Fraser have is unbeatable. They disappear into their roles, especially in this song, and I will never get sick of it. Number 1. The Music of the Night. I mean, of course, obviously, this has to be the number 1 song, because it's like the best song of all time. I mean, it's my favorite song of all time. In music class this year, we had to analyze one song. I chose this song, and it really proved to me how everyone who worked on this song was at the top of their game. They build crescendos at the perfect moments, like the big note will say, "to be," that moment where they build this crescendo through it with the music. They build it all the way up, 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 and then as Ramin is singing, let's say this is Ramin, this is the music, it cuts off and lets him have like a second or two to finish it off, and then there's just silence for like a second or two. And it lets you just witness what you just experienced. It is, there's really nothing better. I've listened to this song well over 1,000 times in the past 2 years, and I will not stop. From Ramin Karimloo's flawless voice and performance to the booming score and the brilliant staging, The Music of the Night is not only my favorite song from the show, but my favorite song of all time. So what are your favorite songs from Phantom? I was gonna rank them all, but I realized I'd rather do a video like this where I talk more in depth about the songs, because really that's more important than me going Magical Lasso, Prima Donna, blah 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 blah. I mean, come on, it's just better. It's my favorite musical of all time, if you couldn't already tell. I've said it a bunch, I've made tons of videos on it, and definitely go check out my review of, you can't see it, but the like playbill or whatever the hell you want to call it, the little book thing that they give you. It's down there. I got the poster, the ticket, all that. I reviewed that back in January, and I did my story with the Phantom of the Opera, one of my favorite videos I've made. Go check those out. I'll put them up somewhere at the end. But tell me your favorite songs from Phantom. Tell me your favorite songs from really any show, and what is your favorite song of all time? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Over and out. Over and out.